Good afternoon and welcome to the Rhino Strong Podcast. I'm James, your host, and Seta is always here. She's here somewhere.
Hello.
She's right here. This is our fourth episode, and today I wanted to do something that I put together a bunch of stuff that kind of like myths, shit that I've heard over the years. There's a ton of stuff, but these are just some things that I've heard people say that are completely false, and I will give reasons why. And these are all things that Seta believed also before she started lifting with me. So she'll give her point of view, why people think this. This will start with this one. People will say, like, if you're a slow lifter, you will always be a slow lifter. That's just how you lift. It's how you are. Absolutely false. You should train to be explosive. It's going to add power, which in turn is going to equal bigger lifts. Seta was very slow. She's not, like I said, you're not going to make somebody like super dynamic. You're not going to turn somebody in a wheelchair into a
fast car.
I wouldn't say that. A fast car?
Yeah.
Well, they'd have to turn into a transformer, I guess. A transformer person or something. No, you're not going to turn them into like Ben Johnson, or some like super fast Olympic record holder. But you definitely can get faster. Now, if you keep lifting the same way, you're not going to get any faster. There's lots of ways to do this. Use bands, chains, 40% of your max. You want to learn to accelerate through your sticking points, go faster. Normally people slow down as they get to the top of their lifts because it's harder off the bottom. So with bands, it makes it harder at the top. And it gives you a little bit something more off the bottom because it's like extra gravity pulling you down. So you'll excel and you'll push faster through it. I said Seta's lifts got extreme. She's not going to ever be super fast, but they're way faster than they were. I used to think I was watching slow motion when I watched her lift. It was pretty ridiculous.
Hashtag truth.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something that's, to me, that's something simple people can fix. Bands, chains, push faster, with good technique, but push faster. The next one I would say would, let's go with this one. Okay. Well, I see people do this all the time. Seta did it when I first met her. How people think that you should bench wide, raw. Like how somehow it's going to give you a bigger number because there's a less range of motion. True, there is a less range of motion, but you are taking the weight and you're never developing your triceps, and you're putting all the weight on your pecs and on your rotator cuffs and shoulders and your rotators. You fuck a rotator up, you will never bench the same again. I pretty much, have come as I'm 46 now. I can't even bench raw anymore. I was benching reverse grip for a while, and it still bothers me. So I'm either in a Ram, an F8 band, or one of my bench shirts. It bothers me no matter what I do, because after you tear a rotator cuff and then years and years, just your body gets older. Once you tear that, you're fucked. And then there's tons of proof. Look at the people out there that are constantly benching wide, and they're not benching close, developing tricep strength and learning how to hold the bar with your lats. You see all these people tearing their pecs. How many pec tears you see online benching? It's unbelievable. That pec deltoideus is not a big tendon. If you snap that, you will never, not that you'll ever look right again, your chest, but you will never bench raw again. So I think it'd be way better to bring your grip in closer. Thumbs out from the knurling or an inch from there is probably, anatomically your best bet to be benching. Now, if you're going to bench in a bench shirt or like a Ram, slingshot, something like that, yeah, you want to grab wider. Especially a bench shirt because it locks your shoulders in. But Other than that, the risk worth reward is just not there. Just for you to get like a 1 inch less. If you want to have a better, decrease your range of motion, what would be better would be to learn how to arch a little bit better with your mid upper back, get up on your toes, learn better leg drive. That will take 1 inch or 2 off your bench stroke also, even with a closer grip. I mean, take a look at even the top, like the biggest raw benchers out there. They'll grab a medium grip, medium close grip. None of them grabbing wide. Not a single fucking one. I mean the ones that bench a lot. Like my friend Allison Hine, she's, I think, every all-time world record benching. She's got a 365 bench at 165 or 163 she weighed. 365-pound raw bench. And she's benched well over 5 with shirts and stuff like that. But watch her. Check her out. Allison Hine, she doesn't grab wide except in a shirt. Shit. Who's that guy? I should know his name. That huge black guy. He benches 790 pounds. Watch his grip. He's not wide. I mean, look at any of the top benchers that are benching an enormous amount of weight. And not a single one of them are benching ultra wide like you see a bunch of these fucking people doing. Mostly in USAPL. That's a USAPL thing, pretty much. USPA, USAPL. For some reason, I don't know why those federations, maybe because those are average gym goers. I don't know why those federations, it's like they haven't figured it out. They just keep hurting them. They're like, oh, my shoulders are sore all the time. My pecs are sore. My shoulders are beat up. They think it's just fucking normal. No, it's not fucking normal. How about you, Seta? I mean, I'm sure you used to grab wide. I remember that.
Yes,
You hated having to bring your grip in.
Yes, I hated it.
Your triceps, your arms are way bigger. Your triceps are huge, and they're so much fucking stronger. And your old raw bench, you can now do for 10 reps in just a year. So, and that's grabbing closer.
Yes, it's well worth it, and I did move out since I do with a bench shirt.
Yeah, but in a bench shirt, it makes sense to go out, but there's no reason to. There's no purpose for it. I don't see it. I don't see it working for people. I mean, there's some, but the average person, or even anyone just coming out and benching in a gym, say person that's not a power lifter, that's foolish to grab wide like that. It's gonna fuck yourself up. So get rid of that question. Oh, this is one set of. I've heard people say this, and she told me it's just this. To me, it's just mind-boggling. That when something would hurt with her knees or back or shoulders or whatever, people would just say, just drop the weight, and just do lighter weight, and somehow that was gonna fix everything. It's never gonna fix everything. If your technique sucks, it's never gonna fix everything. If you have weak muscle groups, it's never gonna fix anything. The weight normally isn't the issue, it's your technique. So you would spend more time warming up, take smaller jumps so that you have more warm-up sets, even in doing 2s or 3s, so that you're capable to figure out your technique where you're at. I just don't think lowering the weight isn't going to fix it, because if you're still moving your body wrong, you're still moving your body wrong with the lower weight. And yeah, you take the weight off, you take some pressure off, so it feels better after a while. Then you go back to normal weight with your same shitty fucking technique, and you're fucking hurt all over again.
Yeah, it's very frustrating because you get up to a certain weight, and or at least for me, and then I would drop down again.
Because you got hurt.
Yeah, and then I would go up to the same weight, maybe 5 pounds more, a little bit, heavier, and then I would have to repeat it, and it's just frustrating. You don't see any progression.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like you're training to get hurt.
Yeah.
Literally.
And that's what stops.
You train to get hurt.
And then
you start all over again.
Yes.
It's kind of like progressive overload.
It's not healthy.
Which I hate. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
And it's not rewarding.
Well, yeah, I mean, eventually you're going to hurt yourself bad enough you're not going to be able to fucking do it, or you're going to have surgery, or... Yeah, it's fucking stupid. was the next thing here? Let me see. There's a bunch of low bar squatting versus high bar. I know people say all the time like they think that you're stronger in low bar than you are in high bar. It just doesn't fucking make sense. I mean, for one, if you just look at the biggest squats of all time, they're all like a medium. They're on their, like mid-trap. The whole point of this, if you're doing a low bar, you're bent over so much that you're almost in a fucking good morning stance. You're basically doing it. You watch people that do a really low bar. They're doing a good morning out of the bottom of the hole. How fucking long can you do that before you fuck something up in your back? There's just no way. I mean, and then at the top of it, you're putting all that pressure on your knees. You're not using your hamstrings or glutes like you think you are. I don't know.
Yeah, I always felt better with high or mid. I used to try low, but it was at such...
I'd imagine your wrists. Like, how the fuck do you grab the... I'm telling you, I see people, and then I've seen people do it, and they do it until they get to a cylinder because you were weak.
No, but as far as my wrist, I never felt
you're weak.
Anything. Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but that's the point. Like, if you weren't lifting enough, you're not going to, because you weren't lifting enough.
Correct.
If you were squatting as much as you do now, you think you could hold on to it that low without fucking your wrist up?
I don't want to try.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, most people, as they get stronger, they either have to change that. I don't know. I try to find a bunch of people that have been squatting for 20 years with low bar. I would love to see it. I don't know. I don't see it. And like I said, all the people that squat over 1,000 don't squat low bar, whether they're raw or equipped. Don't. So, I mean, that right there should tell you enough that it's not fucking physically possible without fucking yourself up. Biomechanically, you can't. Like, how would your lower back be able to brace that much weight leaning over?
Yeah, I mean, they talk about the whole stacked positioning of your torso.
But
you can't be stacked.
Yeah, it's impossible. You come out of the bottom leaning forward. Everyone does. They put all the weight in their quads.
You're starting forward.
Yeah.
So it contradicts that whole theory.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I know people do it. When I train people, I get them out of it. I don't think it... I said, and if you're coming in, just do whatever you want. It's one thing, but if you truly love to lift, you want to lift forever, you got to fix some things. There's like certain things you have to do a certain way, or you'll have no longevity in the sport, or just in the gym in general. That's why you see people that like, I don't bench anymore, I don't squat anymore, I don't deadlift anymore. Oh, I just do it for this, I just do it. And you find out, you talk to them a little bit, and they're all fucked up because they lifted like shit for fucking years.
Or they'll just blame their age.
Yeah, which is...
That's just, you did shitty lifting
it's the same
for
thing.
longer.
Yeah, you did, yeah. It took a long time. You just kept lifting like shit for so long. I mean, most of those people, you ask them last time they benched, I don't care if they're 50, they're like, oh, I was in my 20s. I'm like, oh,
that's the same.
That makes sense. So it's really not age when it comes down to it. It's like them just fucking themselves up.
And I think what's important is, I'm sure people are going to be able to, identify a couple people that do low bar and successful.
Few people doesn't count.
But a few versus the majority of the other way doesn't make up for it.
No.
Because there's always going to be, people that don't fit that normal, whatever you want.
The mold. Yeah, but all of them are in their early 20s. I said I want to see them when they're 40 squatting like that. I just want to see someone. Someone could point that out for me. Someone that's been doing that for 20 years. And not someone that just started lifting at 40. Someone that's been lifting for 20 years like that. I'd be interested. Send me a message. I would like to see this person lift and look back and see if they've lifted the entire time like that. Curious. So next, that was that one. This is one I've heard a little bit. I've heard people say like they don't believe that there's any carryover going from sumo to conventional. So if you're a conventional puller, that pulling sumo will not help your conventional pull. That is bullshit. Correction. I guess it's true if you don't know how to pull sumo, which a lot of people are pulling a conventional sumo. And I'm not talking to people that have a closer stance. I'm talking they pull the bar with their back, which is even worse. I mean, first of all, conventional, you're supposed to be using a hip hinge, so you shouldn't be using your back at all. But a lot of people you see using their back to pull conventional, those people, you see this very same people go, and when they pull sumo, they pull it the same way with their back. They pull a weird back conventional sumo. Yes, you will get nothing out of it in terms of carryover to your conventional pull. But if you actually pull correctly, pull sumo correctly, and you use your hips, you will strengthen your glutes, hips, abductors, and even your quads pushing off the bottom. And all that power coming from the bottom from your hips and glutes, driving forward, will increase your hip hinge. It'll teach you to sit up and keep your chest up and back. So it'll increase your conventional pull. I have 2 people at my gym right now that didn't believe it, and they've seen their conventional pull up 50, 60 pounds just by doing, just by learning how to pull sumo and pulling it heavy and pulling it correctly. And I've done, it just, if you look at a lot of people that are heavy sumo pullers or conventional pullers, they pull pretty similar. The weight may be off by 100 or so pounds, but it's both pretty close either way. If you're pulling correctly, if you're pulling sumo correctly, if you're not, you won't get fucking anything out of it. And that's basically, the leaning forward, the pulling with your back. I fucking hate seeing that. I'm just like, I don't understand how people can pull like that. And I don't understand how they think it's sumo. I mean, if you were to look at it, so like, if you're interested in sumo and you're like, oh my God, sumo, even the people that say sumo is cheating, whatever, it's like, well, how is it cheating? Like, it's wider. You look at some of those guys that like pull wide, with like, they pull 1,000 pounds at like 100, 250 pounds body weight. How they're sitting back or they're using their hips. You're watching these guys, you can look them up online, like they're on Instagram and everything, like you can see how they're pulling it. They're pulling with their hips and their glutes and their hamstrings. They're not pulling with their lower back. They're not doing a weird lower back conventional pull in a sumo stance. So I just don't understand how people are, I mean, these guys are popular. I don't understand how people are looking. I don't know how you're fucking this up.
Well, if you never are able to do it correctly.
There's so much information out there on how to do it. Like I said, I've told you before, like Elite Fitness has an enormous amount of information on how to fucking learn how to pull sumo. Really. Or you know what I mean? You just watch these people that pull 1,000 pounds like that, and you just watch their technique. They always have them in the front, side, everywhere. Even like Yuri Belkin from Russia, like, I mean, if you watch how they pull and like just try to emulate that, like,
yes, I highly recommend you follow him.
You can't be watching people that pull. You know what I'm saying? All these people are following bullshit Instagram people. People that have like a bunch of likes, or they do stupid shit, or they do some dumb fucking setup that they think people are like, oh, look at their setup. Nobody gives a fuck about your setup. Okay? No, it's how much you pull. So you do a stupid fucking setup. Who cares? You're wasting fucking energy. Like if you were to actually, pay attention to how these people pull, you would see that they're not pulling it in a conventional stance. They're sumo in a conventional stance. I don't know. I don't know how people are fucking this up so bad. But what was that? Okay. Next one. The need to squat more frequently. in order to learn technique, like these people that squat 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Or deadlift, anything.
Or deadlift or bench 3 times a week. No. The problem with that is anything over 90%, your technique changes. So, if you're always squatting at a different variation, first of all, you're overtraining. And you're trying to perfect something that may or may not even be the problem. More than likely, it's, like I said, most of the time, as far as pulling, when you go to squatting and deadlifting, it's your hamstrings, glutes, and lower back suck. Upper back is not strong. Those are your problems. Grip's like at the end, but like it's mainly those things. So you're breaking most of the time because, like if you're strong in those areas, you can't, you can't possibly be pulling heavy 3 times a week. So if you learn to get stronger in those positions, I said, I
think it's the whole practice makes perfect type of mentality.
Yeah, but why don't you fucking pay attention to 1 day a week you do it?
I'm just thinking what people are thinking.
No, I know, I'm just saying. But why wouldn't you do that? You know what I mean? Just pay attention when you're doing it. Here's the thing, too. People are going, they totally believe that they're going to go in and do 4 sets for a bench, 4 sets of squat, 4 sets for deadlift. No, we'll deadlift or squat or bench for like fucking an hour and a half. There's, like, if you need to perfect a movement, not to mention, like, you should be, that's the main movement, like, go in and fucking put time into it. But you still need to recover. And I said, you're not going to see where you're weak going 40%, going 30%. You're never going to see where your technique's breaking. You're not going to see where you're weak at. So it's like, how can you program your accessories, your building lifts, the things that are going to fix all your weaknesses if you're always doing 30, 50%? You're not going to see it. Kind of the people that do like a progressive overload that don't ever squat, bench, or deadlift to 90% until like their last 2 weeks. Like, how the fuck do you know what you're weak at? You're never going to see it until it's fucking too late. No?
No, I agree.
That's
it's
weird.
I follow what you tell me to do. And when people listen to Jimmy, they get stronger. And we have people to prove that.
I just don't want people to get fucking hurt. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I love watching people get stronger and not being hurt. I mean,
you can't fucking progress if you're hurt all the time. It's impossible. You're just constantly going back and forth. So that's the biggest thing is like, fixing technique, fixing your weaknesses, your core, making sure you have adequate rest, recovery, and you gotta fucking eat. You can't be out drinking all night, smoking pot all day. You have to fucking eat. You gotta rest. You have to recover. You can't do this shit. It's never gonna fucking work. Your body's not going to go into REM if you're drugging yourself to fall asleep at night. You can't be taking. There's no way you can be smoking pot or drinking. Those are both depressants. They depress your central nervous system, so you're basically tranquilizing yourself into sleep. It's never going to work.
No.
Eat a bunch of Benadryl like I do. And then just go into a coma. No.
Where can they find us on YouTube?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Rhino Strong
I have no
Jim.
idea what the fuck it is.
Rhino Strong Jim. Or else on Instagram and Facebook.
That's what it is?
Yes.
I don't know. It's funny. Well, what's the other one? Okay. I had someone recently say this. People say it all the time to me. That you need to always squat to parallel in order to be able to squat to parallel at a meet. False. and true. So if you're never making your bottom end stronger and all you do is squat, and you're not doing the proper accessories to make the to make your glutes, hamstrings, your adductors, like your hips, these things stronger, yeah, probably. But you're probably going to fail either way. But eventually, you're putting extra stress on your knees, always going to parallel or below her. I think a smarter way that I've done for a long time is staying within an inch. The box squat should be pretty close to parallel when you're free squatting within an inch. And, we do a lot of like deficit pulls, sumo. So, you're pretty much below parallel. We do 5-inch pulls and stuff like that. And like I said, the box squats are parallel. But the free squats, it just takes pressure off your knees to not always be hitting parallel. And you watch people, anyone that I train that does meets, they're at parallel, they're there. Said as she never believed it. She didn't believe it was possible. She didn't understand that I was always making her go high, a little high. And then her meets, she has the judges telling her that she doesn't have to go that low.
But I still did.
No, I know you still did. But I know, but you know what I'm saying? Because I kept calling you that low. But it's as long as you're strong enough, those muscle groups are strong, that 1 inch ain't going to make a fucking difference. Now, if you're doing it by yourself, like I said, that's why people should be box squatting. That way you know what it feels like to always be at parallel. Or have somebody call your depth. It's not that hard to do. But you have to be doing, glute ham raises, deficit pulls. Got to do box squats. You got to do shit like that. That's putting you at parallel outside of your free squat. Now we do squat like the weeks leading up to her meet. 3 weeks out, she's at parallel. 2 of those, and then there's a deload week. So she does have 2 weeks where she's squatting parallel with a straight bar, and those are the ones and then you're giving a break for your knees.
It definitely helps to have someone call you up. I think it would be hard for me even just to see what is an inch.
Well, yeah.
It feels so. It's
because
very
especially you
close.
add knee wraps and stuff like that, or knee sleeves. It changes everything. Even the knee sleeves are thicker now. They're stronger now. So it changes how your body feels when you're down there. It's just so much easier for someone. And then a lot of meets, they'll even have someone there to tap you, to call you up. Like if you want to tap, if you say there's no reason not to accept that. Doing it on your own is just it's a bad idea. If you have nobody, that's one thing. But there are people. A lot of people at meets, anyone will help you. They really will. When you get to that meet, just be like, can you have someone call me up? Show them where you squat to, and tell them that's where you want them to call you up. That's your best bet. But it's just there's no need to always free squat to parallel. There's no need to always free squat to parallel. I've never seen it. I've never had people do it, and I've never done it. And I have, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says. You only need 2 white lights. That's all that fucking matters. People can complain, bitch, and moan, and groan. Everyone has different. There's crazy fucking YouTubers, Instagrammers that believe your ass should be 3 inches off the ground. There's USAPL people that think you should be 3 inches below, and then everyone has a different. You know what? Whatever federation you're in, you go to the depths of that federation, and you get 2 white lights. It's fucking it. That's all that matters. I don't understand why people fucking feel the need to fucking.
Well, there still should be some type of standard. We don't want quarter squatters.
No, but if you're, if your hip crease and your knee are even, that's it. It has to break that. So as soon as you hit that, you calling someone up it breaks as they're calling up. So it's just a small, that's it.
That one was a really, really big one for me to absorb, because I was really against it. I didn't fight him because I know James knows a lot more than I do, so I just went with it. But I am proof that it works, and I'm not the only person.
Yeah, no.
And my knees feel great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your knees feel better. Yeah,
and hamstrings and hips.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but if you're not developing that shit, if you're not developing that shit, you're fucked either way. Because now you're gonna put all this stress on your knees all the time. You're not gonna progress as fast as you think, and you're just putting extra wear and tear on your knees. You really are. And then the people that go way below parallel, that's just fucking stupid. Like, there is no world in the powerlifting community that you have to go that low. Nobody gives a fuck. You're not gonna get bonus pounds on your lift for going fucking 4 inches lower. It's fucking stupid. And even you're fucking your knees up.
And even if you can, I mean, I'm flexible. I can squat to the ground.
Yeah, but you're not going to get extra points for it. Why do
that too? But my form breaks down.
Oh, of course it will.
And everybody's form breaks down when you go that low.
It just doesn't make sense. I don't get why people do it.
I don't know. That's why we don't.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that is all for today.
What is it? Cut it up and send it to the press?
I don't know.
Something like that. Edit it and send it to the press?
I don't know. What is it, Sarah?
Something and
what
send it to edit and send it to the press.
You sit on a bed of lies?
I sit on a bed of lies.
No, it's throne of lies.
I know, but I said the other night I sit on a bed of lies. I make up my own quotes. Don't judge. I'm already judged on Instagram enough.
All right. So you guys have a good weekend. Well, what's left of it? Bye.